Are you ready for some great meal ideas? Well, come along with me while we go through this week's What's for Dinner. Great, easy, simple recipes for weeknight meals.
Hello, family and friends. I'm Susan, and welcome to my home.
Hey, everybody. Are you ready for some more quick, easy meals for this week? Well, I've got some good ones. And if this is your first time joining in, my name is Susan, and welcome. And let's go ahead and get started on the first recipe that I'm going to be doing. It is a Southern favorite. With a little tweaking like you know I do, I'm going to make some fried chicken. Sounds simple and easy, and I up the flavor quite a bit with the flour mixture that I use and my choice of spices. So good. You will really enjoy it. So come on along. Let me get this ponytail up and let's get to cooking. And I'm going to fry me up some chicken tonight for supper. I've got the canola oil for the skillet fryer. I've got my mesh tray or mesh thing to put my chicken on so I can put it in the fridge, let it cool, and let it drip on this whenever it gets done. I've got me 2 bowls, one for the wet, one for the dry. Some seasoned flour. This Kentucky Colonel seems to be my favorite right now, and it's really good. And some Italian seasoning to go in it because it just tastes so good with this. I don't have any buttermilk, but I do have some heavy whipping cream and an egg that I'm going to use to make the moist batter. So let's get going, getting this ready to put in the fridge to rest for a little bit. I do have a recipe that I loosely go by. Y'all know how that goes with me. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this heavy whipping cream in the container. And then I'm going to put 1 egg in. If I was doing as much chicken as it called for in the recipe, I would need 3 eggs. I'm only going to do 1 because I only got 2 pieces of chicken, or 2 chicken quarters is what I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and whisk that up real good. And I never have buttermilk. I guess I could add some vinegar to the heavy whipping cream if I really wanted to, which this has got a lot of flavor in itself. So I don't think I'll need it. Get this all mixed up. Okay. Now this right here is the seasonal flour mix. And if you smell it, it smells like salt and pepper. It's got all the good stuff in it. The only thing it doesn't have is maybe some of the Italian seasonings that I'm going to put in it to help it along. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in the bottom of the dish. Like I said, I've only got 2 pieces. It's just me and Danny. And that's what we're going for. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this Italian seasoning on top. And what we're going to do is we're going to dredge the chicken quarters. You start off first in the flour mixture. And I'm just wanting to get something for the milk mixture to adhere to. If you had a paper bag, you could do it in a paper bag too. I've seen a lot of people do that. Then you dip it into the moist mixture on both sides. Look how good that's sticking to that chicken. Ooda hooda hooda. And then you put it back in the dry mix. And I'm going to go ahead and pat it all in. Get as much of this in as I can. Look at that. And it smells so good. This fry seasoned flour, Sammy from Managing the Maze is the one who had it. And I was like, is it good? She said, yes, it's good. And it is. Okay. Now this is good and coated. And I'm just going to put it on my pan. And let me get the other one done. And then we'll put both of them in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. But let me go ahead and get the other one ready. Now this chicken is well coated. Look how nicely coated that is. And all that is flour and some heavy whipping cream with the egg in it and some Italian seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. It says an hour is best, and if you have that much time, that's great. Come in from work, grab your chicken, get it up to this point, put it in the fridge, go do something else around the house, clean, straighten, whatever, get yourself undressed from the day, whichever one you're going to do, and then we'll come back and we'll fry us up some chicken. And we're going to go ahead and put the chicken in the oil. I've got this on 375. And it actually just turned off, which means it is up to temperature. I'm going to go ahead and do bottom first, and then I'll do the top. I'm going to leave this on about 5 minutes per side is what it normally takes. And here we go. Fried chicken and some noodles. And it's what's for supper tonight. Are you ready for some good Mexican food? Well, I have got one of our tried and true family favorites. I've made it before, and you know we love it. If you love tacos, then let me show you how to bring up those tacos a notch or two so they are absolutely amazing. It's called beef and bean tacos. It's so simple to put together and make, just a few steps more than your normal tacos, but oh, so much more flavor. So come on along. My ponytail is already up. Let's get to making some beef and bean tacos. And of course, we're doing the beef and bean taco skillet today. I have done this recipe already in a video, but I'm going to do a quick run over of all the ingredients. Can of pinto beans, drained, not rinsed. A can of rotel, which you know I use the Mexican style. Some red cap adobo. I've got some Mexican blend cheese, some onion, and it calls for a half a sweet onion, which is what I used, and 1 pound of ground beef that I've already browned and drained, so it's ready to roll. This is still hot. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 sprinkles of the adobo around the meat. I am going to add the onions in. I am going to add the taco seasoning, which is 1 packet, which if you use the big container like I do with taco seasoning, let's see if I can get down there. There you go. Then you need 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. 1, 2. All right, 2 tablespoons. Now I'm going to also add in the rotel and the pinto beans that are drained, not rinsed. So they do have a little bit of fluid in them, but not much. And now I'm going to mix this all together. And then I'm going to cover this up, and this is going to cook for about 5 minutes. So it makes a quick eat. Once you brown the hamburger meat, you are good, because this only takes about 5 minutes. I'm going to cover it up, put it on a medium low, and it will create some juices. But make sure everything is nicely stirred in. And I'll come back whenever it's ready to put on the tacos. Minutes on medium, and you see how much juice it has made. It has made a lot of juice. So this is ready to go in a taco. You can add a little more adobo if you want to. I think it's probably good as is, because y'all know we're going to spice it up. Let's get it on the tacos. That's a little bit too much, I think. And now you know, we like the hot, spicy. Take a taco sauce. Okay. I'm going to do some daisy sour cream, which I'm about out. I'm going to go get me another squeezable. And I actually found a thing of Mexican blend cheese that was already defrosted, so I'll go ahead and use that up. All right. And there's Danny's tacos. Y'all know the drill. Let me get me a bowl and make me some taco nachos. A little bit of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of taco sauce, a little bit of sour cream on my taco nachos. All right. And Mexican cheese. Now, that's what I call supper.
Tuesday night. And it is good.
And tonight I'm going to be making a chicken noodle casserole. New recipe for us, sounds very similar to my chicken noodle soup. I'm going to put peas in it, but I probably need to put mixed vegetables instead because y'all know Danny don't like peas. So we'll see how good this reception is for this recipe. But let me get this ponytail up and let's get to cooking. And tonight I'm doing chicken noodle casserole. New recipe to us, very similar to how I make my chicken noodle soup. So we'll try it and see what we think. I've got 2 chicken breasts pulled. Of course, I got a rotisserie for this one. I wanted to try to save as much time as possible. 2 cups of uncooked noodles. I'm waiting to see how this turns out. That's interesting. I've got some bacon bits, some minced garlic, a cup of milk. I've got some of my chicken spice I'm going to put in it. A can of peas drained, a can of corn drained, a can of cream of chicken soup, and some Colby Jack cheese. And I've got to get some onions. Other than that, we have everything that we need. So let's get to mixing up all the ingredients for the chicken noodle casserole. And I have the oven on 350. It's already preheated. So let's get to putting everything together. I'm going to go ahead. I've got a 9x13 pan. I've already coated with cooking spray. And it says I've got to cook the noodles. And I, of course, have had to boil the noodles and put them in here. I wondered why they said 2 cups of uncooked noodles. That was so you could boil them and then put them in the recipe. So we figured that out real quick. And the next thing is going to be to add the cooked chicken, which is 2 chicken breasts that I have shredded up. I may need to shred it a little bit more, but that's okay. I'll figure out if I need to do a little bit here in a minute. And I've just been pulling it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add the peas into the mix, which we'll see if Danny will eat it because he doesn't like peas, but you know. And whole kernel corn into the mix. We'll go ahead and put that in. And I had to change to a bigger bowl. It got too big for the bowl I had real quick. Okay, let's see now. I need the cream of chicken soup in the mix. I'm going to go ahead and put the 1 cup of milk in. 1 tablespoon of minced onion, which of course is Vidalia onion. 1 tablespoon of garlic. 1/2 cup Colby Jack cheese. Even though it's not on the list, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my chicken spice to it, because y'all know I love my fried chicken spice. And 1/4 cup of bacon bits. So I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and mix all this together. See if I can get all the wet and the dry to come together and combine, which it looks like it is pretty well actually, which is awesome. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in the 9x13 baking dish. And I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out in the dish just a little bit. And this is going to bake for 25 to 30 minutes. I don't know why they don't put cheese on top, but it doesn't say to put cheese on top. So I'm not going to do that. It says to top with French fried onions. We will see when it gets done. We're not big French fried onion people. So let me go ahead and put this in the oven for at least 20 minutes and see where it's at. And here we go. It's bubbling. And it's done. It didn't stuck to the sides, which is awesome. And it's ready to be dished out. So let's get this in a plate. And here we go, chicken noodle casserole. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of my chicken spice on it. And it's ready to eat. And that's what's for supper tonight. Let's get some pulled pork in the crock pot started this morning. That way it can cook for 8 hours on low while I'm gone to work. I've got my pork butt. It's completely defrosted. I have got barbecue sauce I'm going to put in there because I forgot my pork rubs I normally put on it whenever I smoke it. They're down at the camper, but that's okay. This will do just as fine. I'm going to put 1/4 of a Vidalia onion in there, and I usually leave the onion in halves and rings. It works good. And then I'm going to put 1/2 stick of butter in there. I know it sounds weird, but it just makes it taste really good. So let's get to putting everything in the crock pot. All right. And it fit. I didn't think it was going to fit in the crock pot, guys, but it is in there, which is awesome. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is put the stick of butter in the bottom of it. There we go. And I'm just putting it in whole because, trust me, it'll melt down quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and add half of the, well, a fourth of Vidalia onion. Like I said, I'll go ahead and keep it in the rings, and I just separate them out a little bit. It gives it a good flavor. It doesn't give it an oniony flavor by no means, but it just gives it a good flavor. I can't explain it. It just makes it good. You know me. And now I'm going to put some water and some barbecue sauce on it. And I'm actually going to try to get it about halfway up the crock pot. That way it'll cover the majority of it. Now I've got it about an inch away from the top of the crock pot. That should have basically give it a little bit of room to cook a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit more of the sweet and spicy barbecue sauce around the edges. And of course I'm going to keep this out, or keep this to where I can put some more on it when it is completely done cooking. I've got this on low, and it's going to cook for 8 hours, and we'll see what it looks like when we come back from work. This morning I put a pork butt in the crock pot so I can show you how to make quick and easy pulled pork in the crock pot. It is so simple. Just follow my instructions from this morning's video. I do add one other ingredient once I get the pork pulled. Well, two basically. I add some more barbecue sauce, but that make it taste like it's been over a smoker all day long. And I'll tell you about that here in just a second. So come on along with me. Let's go and get that pork butt shredded up and make us some pulled pork sandwiches the easy way. And this is what I came home to. Look at that. And it is just falling off the bone. The bone is just about ready to come out of it. I mean, my tongues are going all the way through it. It's so tender and moist. Look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and get this shredded up so we can go ahead and start some supper. And I've also got some French fries in my air fryer if you wonder what that sound is. So let's go ahead and let me get this shredded up. I went ahead and shredded the pork. Now I've got some of the juice out, and I just want to put a drop, and I do mean a drop of liquid smoke in that. And I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and then add this back to the meat and add some barbecue sauce to it, because that'll make it taste like it's been on the grill all day. And the French fries are done. The air fryer finally turned off. I'm going to go ahead and put some mayonnaise on the buns. Y'all know we love the mayonnaise down here, and we love it on our pulled pork too. So here we go. There's that. Now I'm going to add some of this pulled pork itself that has been sitting in that juice that I just added some of that liquid smoke to. Look at that. That's what you call a nice good helping. And I'm going to put some of my sweet and spicy barbecue sauce on it, because that is just the way we roll. All right. Now what would be good is to add that barbecue sauce to the meat itself so all the meat gets absorbed in it, which I may, but Danny's hungry, so I'm just getting it done. And I've added some French fries from the air fryer and some ketchup for Danny to dip those fries in. And there you go. Pulled pork sandwich and French fries. And it was done in the crock pot. And it is so tender and juicy. And it's what's for supper tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. And don't forget to come back next Saturday for 4 more amazing, quick, easy meals to make your weeknights go a whole lot faster. And until next Sunday, have a great week. Don't forget to click that link below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And let our family be a part of your family.